All right, so I wanted to answer a few questions about horses together. Stop it, Roni, stop it. Stay on that side. A lot of, oh man, you're just gonna take off on me, I know it. Okay, ready? You're free. There he goes. I want to answer a pile of thoughts and questions that everybody's been having over the past little bit. It has been absolutely fantastic reading plenty of comments and some good questions. Some have been, a couple of people have popped in to be a little bit critical, and which is unacceptable. We're here to sort of critically think things, but not be critical about things. And critical thinking means that we look at something and we ask why and how come and is our theory correct and all that kind of stuff. And we must be able to talk about things in a reasonable manner that allows us each to ask questions. Some people have shown up, like I said, it's only really been a couple, just making statements. Then when I ask, because that's what we do, we ask, why do you think that? The response is either unacceptably you know, like a bit of a rude way to sort of, don't you want to learn, you should just take my words for what they are, kind of thing, or completely ignoring my questions. Come on, make it over. And he's down too. Oh, that's a big shake. It's got some sound to it. Good. It's quite common for horses to cough after having a roll, blow their nose. Ronnie's over. Oh, he's trying. Go, Ronnie. There we go. Will he make it on the uphill? I doubt it. So, you know, I'd like to ask if when you pop in to make a comment, I try to respond to everybody. Because as I tell my daughter, if somebody is willing to take the time to write something, then I feel, as long as I'm able to, an obligation to respond back. There's a different Roni. Now I put these two together because they were a bit of trouble, and there were plenty of suggestions that he would be so much better if Lena wasn't in here, and I'd agree with that. And so here's our proof. So essentially, it's the critical thinking. It's thinking about, well, what could happen if we made a change? It's a hypothesis. We believe something will be different, and here is how we prove it. Kind of sciencey. Oh, she's in trouble now. She's... Oh! Okay, now what is she gonna... I think she's gonna cut right. Yep. She goes in sideways. Forces a curve. Roni, she's as sensitive as you on her neck. You don't like it either, man. But it's a good try. You're learning. Okay, he almost, doesn't he look a little like, what's happening here? Go get my Lena. Well, go get her, buddy. Go talk to her. You got to figure it out. So this is the idea, that we have thoughts, we can say them in a respectful and kind way. Not in you're doing everything wrong and this is how you should do it because I've been doing it this way for the past 20 years. It's important to be able to give a reason, a proper one, not necessarily a subjective one. Well, you should do things because your horse is sassy. You should do things because your horse is some kind of subjective opinion of what the horse is. It doesn't fly. Horses aren't subjective. They're objective, meaning that they use observational skills to determine what's going on. And we must as well. That's what will make things repeatable. But anthropomorphizing slows our progress down in understanding because we look at it with a bias. Right? Roni's possessive, so he's doing things because he's possessing Lena. Really? Are we sure of that? What if he's just, you know, like the kid on the block that never wants to lose his friend and he's scared? Right? He chases everybody else off. So don't take my friend away. Whew. Roni, she slobbered on you because she just had a drink. She's gonna figure out pretty quick. He's a little inept at this co-grooming business. A little on the dull side, but so here we are. The next thing that has come through a little too much, that I haven't heard any answers to as to why I should do such a thing, but I've had suggestions that I must keep the geldings and the mares separate. No putting them together. It's easier on everybody, is one of the reasons. And I said, well, how? Doesn't it imbalance a herd? And of course, no responses yet. We'll see what happens. Somebody might come up with something. But I don't believe that. So here's my theory. And I've been practicing this for years now. The horses here have always been mixed. Geldings, mares, doesn't matter. They're just horses. They should be able to get along. Roni, you give her what for? And I think it's really important that this kind of stuff does happen. Hello, did you give him a little double kick there? That was really good. Hey, you're a tough horse. Come here. I know. You're a good girl. And I think it's really, really important that the herd is kind of balanced in a way where the geldings get to talk to the mares. We would have to agree on the idea that there is kind of a different set of language or behaviors between mares and geldings. Mares are quieter, they don't play as much, boys run around fighting each other and all kinds of stuff. Mares tend to kind of just stand around and chit-chat. They do some co-grooming more. They ask the boys for co-grooming as well. We've seen Luke millions of times have to groom the girls, and maybe he gets little groomings out of the deal. These kinds of things I think are really important, and I don't think that there's any con to this process. So if I have to be a part of it a little bit, I'm okay with that too, because I think it's really important. And if you guys haven't checked out a guy named Ross Jacobs, I've mentioned him quite a few times. We're supposed to be doing a live stream chit chat one of these days. But anyways, the point is that he also has put out quite a few articles, one reasonably recently, about the fact that if you want to have a relationship with a horse, you have to act and accordingly. If you want to have something solid, something really balanced and effective, you have to be around them more. You have to be, I think he said, you have to be the equivalent of being their tail. Like that's how they must feel when you're around. So acclimated to you, so used to you, so understanding of your presence. And I agree with that. I think it's important. So when I'm out here and I'm chaperoning, whatever you want to call it, just being with them, being in the herd, it's I'm not sure if it's vital, but I think it's quite important both to continue my relationship with them and theirs with me, and then the interpersonal relationships that they have can be affected by me. Which leads me to the next point. I had somebody post that for me to either be the boss or in the herd, because I flip back and forth here and there, it's confusing to the horses. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because I've seen so many horses actually that guy quite a bit, kind of flipped between being sort of a higher horse to then moving away, to then being back up again and then moving away and then being in the middle. And it's fascinating. Some horses just stay high. They don't ever change that position. But I actually consider Luke's horse behaviors to be advanced, I guess is a good way to put it. He is more the horse that I would like to be, rather than the horse that stands in the middle kicking everybody or biting everybody, because it wants whatever. We can take bits and pieces from horses like Yoka, who is quite the effective horse mover, but she's not a very effective horse drawer. Nobody goes to her, right? Luke, he gets everybody. He can drive, he can draw. Look at her. What are you coming to me for? Aren't we friends, he says. We are. So, and then, you know, Roni's kind of half in between. He's sort of effective. He's not quite what I'd think as a lead horse, but at the same time, if he wanted to sort things out, he seems to have a bit of the presence to do so. I mean, look at him. He's big, powerful, fast, but his mind isn't quite at a more advanced lead horse would be. I don't know if anybody wants to be like Gracie, but, you know, being like Lena is actually quite good. And then, of course, Mr. Wild, he's still young to the herd a little. So, here we have proven a hypothesis presented of, if it's just these two, they'll get along pretty good. Aw, Roni. Look at him shun her. No way, Jose. You freaked me out last time I went near you. She's like, well, you did the wrong thing. You touched the wrong spot. Gotta be gentle. Nice. Give a good feeling. Like Luke does, right? Very effective. And he tries and he tries and he tries. Different personality. Very, very interesting. So I don't think I confuse the horses based on if I move out of the way, if I just hang out with them, if I scratch them, if I tell them where to go. They get that sorted out really fast. Oop, let's get out of the way. I almost moved into the drive line and the escape position. I'm going to come around this way a little bit. It'll actually slightly encourage Roni to go that way. As we observe Luke peeking over his back in the background. But a lot of really great comments, a lot of great thoughts, a lot of good encouragement, support, and, you know, 95% of contributors here, people who want to watch and learn and be part of this and ask questions, are fantastic, absolutely wonderful. But unfortunately, we have a few that have popped in to let me know how I should switch to their ways, without giving good reasonings of why. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like the community that we have all been building up for years now that we'd want it to be. So I won't let it go in that direction. We'll continue to ask questions, and if you guys want to answer, feel free, obviously. If you're like, I'm out, I don't know how to answer this, that's okay. If it happens too often, I'll probably step in and say, look, you know, it'd be nice if you could answer my comment, because it's like having a discussion. We have to have it online because we live around the planet. And YouTube, this channel here, is a place where we can come together as a group, as a community, and it's fantastic. That's actually the biggest bonus of this whole... Look at him looking at me, because I'm moved up right behind him. That's the biggest bonus of this whole platform. And, you know, the ability to upload stuff and have everybody watch at the same time. So, I very much expect this to be quiet. I don't expect any problems out of these two whatsoever. Roni's kind of hanging off of the edge of her. He's checking her out. He's probably waiting for her to come back. And then when she does, he sort of walks away. And slowly but surely, these two will sort that stuff out. So there are other comments about how people say, well, horses will just work it out. You don't have to get in the way. I agree with that too. But I think as caregivers, of the horses, we have sort of corralled them in a location that is unnatural, a little more unnatural. So sometimes, once in a while, stepping in is actually a positive thing and has a positive effect. Even if it might not have long-lasting effects, it will slow down whatever thought process was happening at the time and hopefully encourage a different one. We can teach them. We can say, hey, that's not cool, don't do that. We can do that. And they can maybe have a think, like, oh, maybe that isn't a good idea. And that'll be all right. She's nibbling on a leaf. And he's wondering what she's nibbling on. It's like, well, it's an old leaf. Super tasty. He says, are you sure? Let me see. Can I sniff it? That's a nice ask. It's good behavior. Sorry, Roni, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you. And it's a good thing. Very quiet conversation. It's lovely. I'm really happy to see this. It's encouraging to see this kind of thing. How they are quiet together and inquisitive, and an opportunity to talk because the influence that Lena has on him, you know, sends him a little sideways. Just having a roll. Bump. Watch out, Rowan. You get kicked in the nose. Oh, that was fast. There's maybe one more roll here. It's quite soft. A lot of the sand just comes careening back here when it gets pretty wet. Roni's doing a lot of blinking. Have to be careful how much I move. It'll have an influence. Draw. Go, Roni, go. She's coming. Oh. Why did he do that? Like, stay in the corner. I'm not going anywhere. So anyway, so that's hopefully some little tips, some thoughts, some ideas of over the past week or so. We watched this little horsey get introduced to a whole herd. Things have gone well. The only two horses that have really sort of given any what appears to be trouble is this guy and of course Mr. Wild, who for whatever reason decided to switch things up here and there. Okay, let's move them both. Just gonna hit my leg. There we go. A little more. A little more for the Roni. Drink it from the water fountain. Send him off. It's a good thing. I think human intervention or human interaction is probably a better way to put it. Continues to educate them in the unnatural world that we place them in. Paddocks and arenas and shelters and whatever. And they must be educated to the human lifestyle. It's the best thing we could do is give a horse an education. So that whenever they go on in life or as they go through life, they will continue to be safer, calmer, quieter. I had a great comment. Somebody said, boy, your horses are so calm. It must be sort of the energy of your place. Yeah, this is one of the goals. Keep them chill. Calm down. Listen up for little things. Don't be too loud. Hi, Roni. How's the water? He says, it's not bad. Okay, that's it for now. Big dump truck. Thanks, buddy. You did well. And we'll leave it at that. Any thoughts or questions are welcome below. we'll let these two just chill out together and become a little bit of friends. I think it'll be fantastic. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, so I put Luke in, and unfortunately I didn't bring a camera out at the time. We'll see if they continue it a little bit, but Luke has taken the role, which he regularly does, of protecting. You see how he's sideways to her. Roni's got his butt this way and he's sort of sideways to him. I think I gotta move. I think I have to get out of the way. Just to... There we go. Okay. So watch this. I gotta back up a little bit. More. There. Roni's got too many eyes on me. If I just get really still, he will probably pay less attention to me. The point here that I think is just absolutely fascinating is minutes ago, before putting Luke in, Roni was fine, totally peaceful. Put Luke in and suddenly he's doing this. And what's Luke doing? He's in the middle. Block, block, it's coming across, block again. There it is. He's got to turn her left and block Roni. There we go. That stuff to me, when I get comments on you've interfered and horses are confused and so on and so forth. Oh, jeez. I don't need no boyfriend. Don't you tell me what to do. Looks like I'll take care of this, don't you worry. Just said I don't need a boyfriend. See, he just sorts it out. And then everything gets quiet again. So, gosh, I know I'm not a horse, I'm not Luke. I do think that there's times of interference that are kind of requirement for bringing a bit of peace and quiet. There's no fighting here. Nobody fought, nobody kicked, nobody bit. It's just like, hey, chill out, man. No reason to get excited. And in this case, it was Luke's role to do that. I'm way over here. Right? But sometimes we step in as humans to be a Luke. Like I've said a million times, we want to be a Luke. He's great. Works well with everybody. A little up the ladder, a little down the ladder. And it's a good thing. Anyhow, I think that's going to conclude this one. We'll let these three now middle around a bit, sort things out a little bit better. Yes, I do believe they'll sort things out without human interaction, but once in a while, as sort of shown here, it's okay to kind of be in the middle. Say, hey, calm down, rethink your idea, stuff like that. Come on, Luke, do it, buddy. Nope. One more time. No. Oh, he's up. Shake. Says, Roni, you want to fight? This goes back to his girl. And off she goes, and he goes with her. Head low, quiet, looks good. Okay, that's it for now.